What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, guys, I have really been missing Xdefiant, I'll be honest. I've been feeling completely lost, honestly, once the beta went ahead and stopped. I was obsessed with this game. And I'm not saying that lightly either. There's been a lot of games that obviously a bunch of content creators have said, this is a Call of Duty killer, this is going to absolutely stomp out COD, this, that, the usual. It's how YouTube works, it's how you get in the algorithm. Obviously, people are going to make titles like that. They're going to make, thumbnails like that. They're going to do stuff like that. But really, I'm not lying when I say that this is probably the best competition we've had in a long time for the Call of Duty franchise. And I feel empty without it. I gotta be honest, I feel empty without it. But regardless, at the end of the day, it seems that a massive chunk of the Call of Duty community has been enjoying Xdefiant. And I've been seeing, a bunch of things that people are enjoying, whether it's the gunplay, Movement Kings are enjoying the movement, people are loving the map designs, the fact that there's no skill-based matchmaking in the game is being loved. People are touching on a lot of different topics, but I think there is one thing that Xdefiant did absolutely perfect. I mentioned it a few times in previous videos before, but I never actually dived completely deep into it, and I 1010% want to go ahead and do that because, something like this has to be changed for the future of every title out there. It really does, because the way the industry has been mainstreaming, the way they handle these certain things is disgusting, and Xdefiant, after feeling how this beta felt, it just... Again, like I said, it's a breath of fresh air. I never thought we would see this day return, but we are, and I hope other development teams are going to take notes off of everything those developers are doing. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic of today's video, I do want to mention, as I usually do, if you do enjoy today's video, if you enjoy commentaries about stuff like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Xdefiant, other FPS shooters, indie games, stuff of that sort, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification button. We are on the grind to 50,000 subscribers, and every single day we inch closer and closer and closer to that goal. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I thank you all, and of course, like I said, if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. And last but not least, we don't stream on Sundays, but just to keep you guys posted, we will be live again on Monday over on Kick. If you guys want to see any of my live streams, I have links to basically all my socials down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough rambling on. I know you guys want to get right to the point of this whole overall video. I'm just going to lay it out right to you guys. Xdefiant did such a fantastic job with the beta itself. You might be wondering what I'm talking about here, but again, like I said, I see everybody focusing on this, that, like I said, skill-based matchmaking, gunplay, movement, all of the positives and stuff like that, but this is probably the best positive for the whole overall thing here, is that the Xdefiant beta was literally just a beta. You would think that the term beta, would hold its meaning across the board, but it has lost its meaning. Betas are now glorified demos, I guess I should say at this point, when a beta is supposed to be there to help improve the overall experience before the launch of the game. Call of Duty betas, for example, like I said, glorified demos. Basically, you hop into the experience and you're testing out the game. That's the only purpose of playing a Call of Duty beta. You are testing out the game to see if you enjoy it, if you hate it, and then a month later, they're going to go ahead and launch the product. The amount of stuff that they could realistically change between the beta that Call of Duty launches to the actual official, date that it does launch, it's minimal, basically non-existent. And you could tell a lot of the times they're not really even focused on huge issues. It's very minimal things in the beta that they actually want to go ahead and focus on, because they know that the beta isn't there to be fixing stuff. It's just there as a demo for players to want to go ahead and cough money out of their pockets. The way the Xdefiant developers handled their beta was so refreshing, because from start to finish, every last second of this beta, we were beta testing. We were doing what we were supposed to be doing, and the developers were doing what they were supposed to be doing. We weren't testing out the game to see if we enjoy it, even though, that's what a lot of us did. Clearly, if you go into a beta, you want to see if the game's any fun. But we all looked at the game as a beta game, right? We didn't look at it as a full launch. We didn't look at it as any other thing. We looked at it as a beta game. We're going to test it out. If its servers are problems, this, that, it's whatever. We understand it's a beta, but we just want to get in, help, find bugs, find glitches, and just, improve the overall experience. And that's what we did. That is exactly what we did from start to finish, and the Xdefiant developers listened to every last bit of our feedback, implemented stuff day in, day out. Over on Twitter, the communication was absurd. Every day, you don't even have to be a top-tier content creator with a huge following to get, communication with these developers. You could just be your every average day person who loves to play video games. If you wanted to, put some input out there, the head developers would literally contact you, talk to you, discuss stuff with you, and make you feel like you are a part of the overall community. This must return. If it doesn't return, I don't think we're ever going to be able to see AAA FPS titles release at a good launch. Let's be real. All these AAA FPS titles have been just disgusting recently. They really have been. And it's to blame live service, in my personal opinion. Live service is mainly to blame. It's hard to put all the blame on the actual developers because they're being rushed to push out these projects, and these projects are spread so thin. If you think about it nowadays, Call of Duty games have Warzone, DMZ, Ground War, 6v6, Spec Ops, Zombie, all of this different stuff compared to back in the day where it was a little bit more simpler. But instead of giving the developers more time to put together these games, they rush them. They push these games out. And because of that, we get very unfinished, horrible products. If these developers, one, had more time on their hands, and two, were able to use a beta how it's supposed to be done, I guarantee that the launches of these games would be way more smooth. Because then we will be playing the beta because it's supposed to be a beta. We're not playing the beta because it's a demo. We're playing the beta because it's a beta. We want to fix it. We want to improve it. We want to make sure the overall game is fixed. It doesn't even seem like the developers even care that that's the purpose of the overall beta as well. I really do think that the mindset behind the scenes at Activision, they have simply brainwashed the whole overall scene here, all the developers, the whole overall scene, because it's their game, it's their business at this point. So they're able to do what they want, say what they want, and control what they want. And that's probably what's going on behind the scenes. Like I said, they don't care about your feedback. They have a very fine-tuned formula for COD that they want to produce every single year. They're going to stick to it. F all of our feedback. And that is exactly why Call of Duty is pushing in the direction that it is right now. That is exactly why Call of Duty is losing players, it's losing love, and it's losing respect, because that is how they're handling games. Even Battlefield 2042, for an example, how much did they change from that beta over to the official launch of the game? And this is coming from someone who actually enjoys Battlefield 2042 now. I really do. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the overall experience. Not the best Battlefield game out there. We shouldn't accept this as something being, given to us. But at the end of the day, is it something that can hold me over until the next project? Yeah, totally. But in the beginning, in the beta, they barely fixed anything. The gunplay has been broken since, the gunplay didn't even get fixed until halfway through the overall life. I don't even know. No, it was like a year plus into the life cycle, I think the gunplay got fixed. So many bugs and glitches and horrible things that weighed down the Battlefield experience took almost a year to get that actually resolved in the game, instead of seeing it when it was in the beta, listening to the feedback when it was in the beta, and resolving it before the actual launch of the title. Again, I don't know who to chalk this up to. It could be the developers who don't want to listen at first throughout the beta and treating it as a demo, or it could be all up to the publishers who want this, beta to be treated as a demo, and they're going to force out the launch date regardless if the game is ready or not. At the end of the day, betas are demos now, and that should not go with anybody. Nobody should be accepting this at this point, especially after we can still see with our own eyes that developers and games like Xdefiant are still being released with the passion behind them, the love behind them, developers who actually communicate, and developers who treat betas as basically playtests to get, as much knowledge about the game as they possibly need to improve it before the launch. But at the end of the day, something has to change about gaming. Something has to change. Nothing is the same anymore. Gaming used to be, the way I would describe it, an art. It used to be an art. Every single title out there, every franchise out there was an artistic vision, a passion behind it, and a community to help drive it in the right direction. Nowadays, gaming is just simply a business, and you can't blame it because it blew up to the point where it could become a business. It makes so much money. It's more popular than so many different sports, so many different, television program, all this stuff, streaming services, everything you could think of. Gaming is freaking huge. It's bigger than a lot of people even expect. It brings in a lot of cash. It's the real deal. And because of that, they stray away from the direction of a community-driven, artistic vision game to something that is a business model. And they're going to chop them out with Call of Duty. They don't care. They don't need feedback. They don't need feedback. They have enough money in their pockets to produce at least a semi-decent game no matter what. Look at Vanguard. Vanguard was literally a half-assed project. It was a placeholder game to give Modern Warfare 2 extra time, and it still at least ran. They have so much money in the bank that they can literally just toss an engine out there, put it together a game. It's going to stress the developers out, no tomorrow, but at the end of the day, if they need to get it done, they'll get it done. And that's just how it is. That's why we're just going to be on a downward spiral. And I don't know if it's ever going to get resolved. Like I said, as they keep making more money, as gaming grows, we'll still see this type of work being done. And yeah, we still will get passionate projects out there. Elden Ring is the new Star Wars game. Even though it's very buggy, I hear that it's just an absolute blast when it comes to the story and the gameplay itself. We do get good projects here and there, but FPS games specifically, the games that I love and I'm so passionate about, we're in a very dark time. And I really hope Xdefiant is that spice that will help stir the pot a little bit to, make people, developers, publishers actually get up and work and put together some really passionate projects, because people are getting lazy now and we need some change in the overall scene. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button if you hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, subscribe to that notification button. Also, want to chat with us too, we do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.